Gotta say, I'm loving it.
I
It's
mean, that's a surprise, you know. I mean, you just dropped a .55, and you're saying you're
yeah.
loving it. So,
Well, what was the score when we finished our
I
last
mean, that is
interview?
true. You
Remind me.
you are you are the winner. You are the winner. I mean, you can say whatever you want when you win.
No, it's all jokes. You know, I never disrespect you on your own show. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, no, I like this game. Probably one of my favorite Call of Duties. Um, I definitely have raged at a couple games, but I'd say it's not as bad as MW 2019. Even this MW is it's pretty bad. You know, I find myself punching things and yelling a lot, but this game's pretty calming. Generally, I find.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. A lot of room to improve, for sure. A lot of work to be done. Chemistry,
To be
movement,
developed. That
game
is true.
sense.
That is true. Yeah. How do
But
you
that's
feel
true with
about?
everyone, I'd say.
Yeah. How do you feel about some players saying you're just you don't have the potential to improve. You've peaked. You've been basically the same caliber of player for the past three
Mm,
CODs now.
I've heard them. Yeah, I've heard them say that. I just want to know who you heard say that.
I'm a reporter. I don't drop names. My job is to keep make sure things are running smoothly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well. You
Yeah.
know, they can say what they want to say. It's this game's pretty toxic. It's easy to hate one another, but one day I dream we can unite together in peace.
That is true. A lot of toxicity. Maybe between you and another player. I don't want to be naming names.
Who are you talking about?
I mean, there's rumors that there's a lot of friction between you and NJS. A lot of
NJS.
fans
Oh yeah,
speculating.
I've
Yeah.
heard that. Yeah. Well, it's it's a bit of a rivalry going on. I got a lot of work to do if I want to.
Be able to compete with him.
Yeah,
I
I'd
mean,
say
he's
that
not looking
it's
like his himself either. And maybe that's just Cold War. Maybe Cold War's not his game. But I mean, I believe in him. I believe in the kid. I believe in the guy. I know type of caliber of player he could be.
fuck.
You know.
Yeah, I uh, I don't think that's a ridiculous statement.
Yeah.
Especially for this game, there's I'd say, well,
I
in terms of pure gun skill and game sense, I'd say that it's pretty dynamic between the two games, between any Call of Duty. In fact, this is what I was saying before.
yeah.
But in terms of being a teammate, I'd say that's
And that's
pretty
consistent. Yeah.
static,
Yeah.
pretty
It doesn't
consistent
change.
between
Yeah.
games. So his lack of uh, compatibility with virtually anyone in the league
I
definitely
mean that
gonna
that that might
hinder
be
his
an
performance.
overstatement.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying it how it is.
I
Um,
mean,
Not gonna
not virtually
sugarcoat it.
anyone.
He's not an amazing teammate. Sometimes he has his moments, and a lot of the time, well, there are some times that he can put his ego aside, and he's actually a very very challenging opponent to play against. His team often does well. I'm not going to deny that, but
Yeah.
there are some games that it happens pretty consistently where, uh, in all honesty, he performs pretty well, but his team
Mhm.
does not. And maybe it's his teammates, but maybe it's him. It's up for the players to decide. What are you doing up there?
Anyways, I have another question. So, Flawless,
Really?
recently, the player Flawless, he made a
Oh, I
statement.
think I've heard of him.
Yeah, he made a statement saying, Ishan is probably the most talented player in all of Call of Duty. Would you agree? Would you agree with that statement, or you think that's a little bit of an overstatement, and giving too much credit?
Well, didn't the last interview you said that about NJS. So
No,
which one is it?
no, I didn't say that. I said NGS is probably the most mechanically, like, just, like,
Mm,
straightest shooter probably is NJS, in my opinion. But I feel like in terms of just raw talent, just game to game, making the right plays on every hard point, just I feel like,
yeah, for sure.
and just the
Yeah,
ability to
well,
overall carry a team. I feel like NJS doesn't have that ability quite as well as Ishan does.
mm, mm,
Would you agree, or
yeah.
is that something you feel
Well,
like?
there is some truth to that. I mean, as I was saying in our last interview, it's a shame it got cut short. But I gotta be honest. Uh, there is some, yeah, there is some truth to that. I think Ishan is definitely a very solid contender. Probably top two in the league for virtually any Call of Duty that we play.
Yeah, that.
I think that's probably due to his gun skill is very impressive, and also his general game sense. I mean, he just understands the flow of Call of Duty. It's not something that is easy to learn.
Yeah,
Gotta be honest. I think that's probably why he's been performing, pretty well when other people are having a bit of a hard time adapting. Especially me and you um, to this game. It's a different game, but uh, I think Ishan's just got that ability to pick up a Call of Duty and
yeah. I don't think anyone's saying I'm struggling. I feel like no one's really
really.
quite said
No,
that
I'm
about me.
kidding.
Yeah,
I'm
you know.
trolling. I mean, you're getting clapped on by Angoat right now, bro. Stop fucking around, man. Come
Where
on,
are you? Oh, you're fucking thing,
you're spinning.
anyways, but yeah, I mean,
Sweat.
yeah, I feel like this COD, I mentioned this before, this is probably the most, you know, consistent COD. It's not a lot of random BS. It's not a lot of, stuff that just
Yeah,
stuff that just, BS that happens in this game. It's, I gave you the Atlanta phase example from earlier. I gave you the
for sure.
optic, example from, this season. I feel like MW games just aren't consistent. And I feel like MW games, dumb players down. It makes you reliant on sound, and when you don't have the sound, it makes the game it makes the game different.
I do agree. I think it's a lot more of a mechanical game. There's a lot less exciting stuff happening. It's a bit more realistic. There's there's sound for sure is a big one.
Yeah.
In
Yeah,
in
MW
that
games they
game,
try to be realistic, but when, like, obviously with any game you add realism, and you're adding a lot of
yeah,
external BS. Yeah, I mean, it's a part of it. But they
yeah.
want to go the casual route, Call of Duty, Activision.
I do agree with that. There's some things that happened in the design of that game that maybe turned out not in a way that they wanted. That they
Nice
wanted.
voice crack.
Maybe. Yeah, you can edit that out, right?
Yeah, yeah. We don't have videos.
Fuck, I should have known. But yeah, no, I think it's always in that game. It's beneficial to just like sit around in a corner and listen, and you can make stupid plays with doors. There's none of that
Yeah, yeah.
bullshit in this
Doors.
game.
Like, Call of Duty should not have doors, in my opinion.
Yeah, I do not disagree with you.
Yeah, but overall, what are your thoughts on Ryan? Ryan, he's come on to this game and he's just been
Pancakes,
looking.
that's right. Yeah,
He's been looking like a whole new player. He's looking like he's in a league with probably, Nolan and Nick, maybe even better
wow.
than Nick. A lot of people will say he's been playing better than Nick.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough for me to say right now. I haven't got the honor to play with Nick or, in fact, you in
Yeah,
any S&D game, other than this right now. I haven't experienced too much of the entire league's skill. I haven't really felt the presence of you or Nick in game yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Ryan, though, I gotta say, I'm impressed. I was not disappointed by his gameplay. Sometimes when he's on the dope, I mean, you know how it is in MW2. It's kind of like a potato. Not always. When he's locked in, he's not a bad player at all. But
yeah, no, that's for sure.
you know what I mean. I was pleasantly surprised. I think he performed pretty well, and I'm looking forward to the future.
Wow,
I'm
and we
looking
end on a
forward to the
tie
future
game.
of this game. Wow.
Yeah. But overall, Angus, I think it's been a great interview. I just have one final question.
Sure.
What can your fans expect from you going into next game? Because a .55 is, I don't think that's your standards. I don't think that's the standards you want to be known by. So, what can your fans expect from you going into next game and the next
Yeah.
series?
Yeah. No, a lot of my fans. I mean, I have a lot of fans. They're all looking up. They want to see me do well. And it hurts personally to let them down. Um, yeah, well, I've been putting in the work, overtime.
Uh huh.
I'm expecting to bring that up by a couple points, that KD. I mean, we're always aiming for positive. Um,
Yeah, I mean, if you're going
we'll see
positive,
what we
I
can
don't
do.
think whoever you team up with is gonna lose.
I
But
agree with that, especially in 2v2s, even 3v3s. It does make a big difference when
yeah,
you're.
like an insane 1.5 we got from Ishan. We got a 1.1 from NJ, and we got a point 77 from Pancakes, which will probably be higher if he just didn't start, throwing the bag. But
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, I,
yeah.
there's some
Uh,
truth to that.
and before we leave, any teammates you want to team with going into the next series, or any teammates you do not want to team with going into the next series? Any preferences?
It's a good question. That's definitely something I'll have to think about. Um, I'm excited to play with everyone. It's a new game. People are gonna rank differently in terms of the league, gun skill, game sense. Everything's different. Map knowledge. I mean, that's something people are redeveloping after not touching this game for quite some time. Probably what,
Yes,
1 or 2 years now.
that is
It's been a
very
while.
true. Yep, very true.
Um, yeah, I'd say I enjoyed playing with Ishan. I'm looking forward to playing with him more again. I'd
Yes.
say hopefully I don't let him down. I heard the rumors. I heard the
Oh
messages. I
yeah,
don't know.
the
I don't know.
messages.
I don't, I
The
don't know if they were true
messages.
or not. If they are, I don't blame him. I'd be frustrated if my teammate was
I
performing
mean,
the way
going
I
behind
was
your teammate's back
on
is
that
never a
first
good
game.
sign, though. I think
Yeah, yeah. Well,
there should be a trust and a faith and a bond between you and your teammate. I feel like going behind your teammate to complain, I feel like is definitely never necessary. Internal matters should say internal in my
for
opinion.
sure.
But who am
That
I? I'm
does.
just a reporter.
I agree. Yeah, it's none of your fucking business.
Hmm. But it is my
And
business to report you dropping a .55 yet again. Sorry, you
it's
had to
about to
keep bringing it
change.
up.
Let me report to you. It's about to change. It's
It's
gonna
about to
go up,
change. I mean, it's
maybe a
about
little, maybe a
goddamn
lot.
time. We're 3 CODs in.
Well, it's my first game. First
I mean,
game on,
you went
and
from beating me to a crossbow to I don't even know. I don't know what
I
to say.
mean, you just tied with the man who has a .55 KD. So what does that make you?
Hey man, these 1v1s don't win championships.
Yeah, that's right.
But
That's right.
anyways, any message to the league? Any message to any players?
Yeah,
Anything you wanna let them know?
yeah. Well, the league. Well, just to name a couple players. Nick, Eshawn, Ryan. You yourself.
I'm a reporter, Mr.
Everyone
Flawless. I'm
there.
sure you're talking about him.
Mr. Flawless. Sorry, my apologies. I get mixed up. But yeah, these players I'm really excited to play with. I think the future of this game is pretty promising. I think it's gonna definitely change some things up. So yeah, something new. Um, am I forgetting anyone?
Yeah, you didn't mention Mr. Nolan Smith. I think you kind of left him out
Nolan
there.
Smith.
Yeah.
Nolan Smith. Oh,
Yeah,
NJ's
yeah, yeah.
NS.
It's,
Right. Yeah.
a pretty top player in the league. Kind of hard to forget.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyways, Thank you so much for your time, Mango. We hope to hear from you again, and best of luck in your next series. All right,
Thanks.
take
Love
care.
it. Thank you for the interview.